Alright guys, so today we are going to be rolling my Fenders. So as you may have seen in my last video, I lowered my car even more, so now I'm rubbing my wheels. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that, but first, let me just set this down. But first, the front lip on my car is a little scratched up and it's a little faded. So before I roll my fenders, I'm going to go ahead and take that off and go ahead and paint it, because I think it'll kind of spruce up the front end a little bit more. And I don't like looking at it. It's all faded and scratched and there's a lot of dings and stuff in it. So I'll just take some sandpaper to it and then go over it real quick with some spray paint. So yeah, let's get going on that. So now we just got to get down and take it off, and then we'll go in the back and spray paint it. Alright, 3/16 socket.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Alright, so I thought this was going to be like super simple, and it was just going to like take these little bolts off right here and like 5 of those and it's off. But it turns out I got to come all the way into my my fender liner, take that bolt out, and then you got to go inside, which is a pain in the ass right now. But then you got to take out these little like pins that, like, I don't even know. Hold on, let me get it to focus. And then you got to get these little pins, and you have to push out that little pin from the bottom, and then it comes out like that, and then you push it out. But the only way to get to the second one, the first one's super easy. It's just right there. But the second one is it's right here. So I got to go inside there, and yeah, it's a lot more complicated, but we're gonna do it.
You don't have to lose your music with Pandora Plus. You get offline listening, unlimited skips and replays, and all the ad-free music you want for less than $5 a month. Simple as that. Tap to start your free 30-day trial now. Pandora.
Got the front lip off. So now we're gonna head outside and we're gonna go ahead and paint it. Alright, so now I'm just gonna sand it with this sanding block, and then we'll go ahead and go over with the first coat of paint. Okay, so sanded the first little bit. So now I'm just gonna rinse it off real quick, let it dry, and then I'll spray the first coat.
With bits of real panther, so you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh yeah, it stings the nostrils in a good way. Yeah, Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
Now we gotta let that dry. It's already looking better. I'm probably gonna put on like probably 3 or 4 coats. I just wanted to get it on really thick. That way it doesn't chip easy and it doesn't. Excuse me. And that way the paint doesn't come off easily, and it doesn't show any more chips. I want it to last a while. I mean, I'm sure eventually I'm gonna have to do it again later on down the road, but I just want it to last as long as it possibly can. Okay, so I got like 4 coats on the front lip, letting that dry because it's still a little tacky. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and jack the car up so we can go ahead and roll my fenders. Okay, so to install one of these is super easy. You just put it on the hub, and then get your spacers and then put them on. Then make sure your car is up all the way, and then the e-brake's off, because this obviously needs to move freely, as you'll see in a second. Also, and before I forget, the main things that you're going to need for this, for rolling your fenders, if you're watching this for instructional purposes, which I don't recommend you do, because you're probably not going to learn much. You're just going to watch me do it. Is the biggest thing is, aside from your roller, is one of these. Heat gun. This is very important because you are literally bending your inner lip of your fender, and you need to heat up the paint so that you don't get all these little spider cracks or little crack lines, or whatever you want to call them. So that's very important to heat up the paint and soften it, so that way when you bend the lip back in, it doesn't crack your paint. So it's very vital with helping your paint. So that's another thing. And then obviously your roller and a jack, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then once it's heated up, you're just going to want to roll it real hard. This is going to take some pressure, and it is going to take some work. It's not easy at all. And then you tighten it as you go to keep pushing the fender back. Before we get too far into that, I'm going to go real quick and check on that front lip. So we can see how the paint came out. Wow, I'm washed out. And I changed my shirt and I took my hat off because it's freaking hot today. So it's a little tacky still, but I'm going to bring it into the garage so it's in the shade so the sun doesn't melt the plastic, because that would not be good, because then I just have to buy a whole new one, which I don't want to do. So we'll go ahead and just set it down. I mean, that looks a hell of a lot better. It's actually black now, it's not all faded. It looks a lot better. I can't wait to see it on the car. So since I lowered the car yesterday, I wasn't able to get the wheel quite on. So I wasn't quite able to get this wheel fully up here, right here. It was way too far up here, so I had to drop the suspension again, and then I'll have to lower it. By lowering it, by raising it, by lowering it, you know what I mean. So now I got to figure it out. So now I'm just going to continue to roll it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now that the lip is dry, we're going to go ahead and put it back on the front of the car, and I think it's going to look killer. So the lip is now on. it looks absolutely killer. It looks way better. I'll show the clip before. You could tell how dull it was. Let me see if I can cover the light. Just looks a lot cleaner now. And from far away, you can definitely tell. It looks a lot better. Now that that's done and the fenders are rolled, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.